What is going on?
Hey guys, welcome back to The Good, The Bad, and The Glory. It's Nikki here.
And it's Sam.
And we are here with episode 12.
Yes, we are back at it. We were on vacation last week. We missed you guys so much. But we are back with a fresh, brand new episode.
We hope y'all missed us too.
Facts. We really hope you guys did.
Because we're back.
Yes. So, Nicole, you actually went away.
I did.
For a Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
How was that? What'd you do?
So I went to Denver, Colorado with an organization called Girl Truck. It was my first time hearing about the organization, but now I am hooked. And if you're listening, and if you are a woman, or if you know a woman, particularly a Black woman or a woman of color, tell her to get involved with Girl Truck.
So what is Girl Truck?
So Girl Truck is the largest public health movement for Black women and girls. And the premise of it is just to take a walk. And to improve the health of Black women by just walking.
Wow.
So whether it be 30 minutes or an hour, just taking the time out of your day to take a walk. And so there are groups in there are groups in many cities throughout the nation.
Yeah.
I believe right now there are over 100,000 women who are part of the Girl Truck movement throughout the United States.
Really?
It is phenomenal. I have just joined the New York tribe. Not a tribe, but the Girl Truckers in New York. And it is such an amazing family. It's a sisterhood. My weekend in Colorado, literally, I say this all the time, but it was life-changing. And
Really?
I mean it in every sense of the word. There were 200 Black women in Colorado hiking, doing yoga, meditating. It was the most I can't even put into words what I felt. It was amazing, and I cannot wait to go again. And I cannot wait. And I'm grateful. I've gained lifelong friends from that experience. The theme of the weekend was that it was a radical weekend of self-care, and throughout the weekend there were different talks and activities and workshops that really got us all to look at ourselves and love ourselves.
Wow. Just
period. And so it was such a rich experience. I have no words.
Wow.
I literally have no words. Please get involved. Hear me. Just get involved with the movement. Go to www.girltrek.org.
So, what you went to, it was like the Girl Treks from all over the nation.
Yeah, so
they all met up in Colorado.
Yes, so this was the first time that there was an open invitation to everyone, not even who was involved in Girl Trek, because I wasn't involved in Girl Trek at all. But my sister sent it to me on Facebook. She was like, "Hey, I think you," because I'm always interested in hiking. I'm intrigued by hiking. It was my first time going on a hike. That. Yes,
wow. It
was my first time going on a hike. And I always tell my sister that I want to go hiking, and she saw this on Facebook. There was an ad there are ads on Facebook and stuff, and so she sent it to me. At first, I was a little skeptical because them ads be like, what's
exactly.
That? So I did my research. They are legit. They were legit, written up in a whole bunch of different articles and newspapers and things like that. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just take this shot. And I went.
Wow.
I didn't know anyone there, and it was
just you by yourself.
Just me.
Wow.
I'm out here living my life. So it was the best decision I made. Literally the best decision I made. I will never, ever, ever forget this experience, especially at this time in my life. I really needed this. And next year I'm going back and I'm bringing everyone I know with me.
Wow.
The joint is so good. I don't even have words. There were so many times in the weekend where I was just so overwhelmed with goodness, with good feelings, that I would just cry. I would just sit there and look at the mountain. I know I'm rambling, but
oh no, it's so interesting.
Every morning you had the option of going to 6 a.m. meditation, and I did that because it's just what I felt led to do. So I went to meditation, and we would just center yourself and ground yourself, and really just meditation is really the quieting of the mind, right? So it's just stopping from thinking about everything and all the things that you're going through, all the things that you have to do, everything that you have to go home to just be still with yourself. Whether you want to just listen in silence to nothing or pray or, whatever you would decide to do, it's really just the quieting of the mind. So doing that every morning, it just sort of just changed everything. So those are the types of experiences that we had up in the mountains. And just the visual of 200 Black women just being free, happy. We were dancing, we were laughing, we were crying, we were reading, we were painting, we were doing yoga, we were hiking, we were doing archery, we were riding horses. It was just freedom.
Wait.
I've never seen anything like that.
Are you saying that you rode a horse?
No, my roommate did.
Gotcha.
There were different activities.
Gotcha.
I've ridden a horse before, which is why
really?
I didn't choose that activity.
Gotcha.
Because I wanted to do something that I had never done.
Gotcha.
So I did the hike,
nice.
which was amazing.
Wow.
And that definitely won't be my last time. So I said, so it was just amazing. So check out www.girltruck.org. You spell that www.girltrek.org. And you can find them on Instagram. That's girltrek, GIRLTREK. Join the movement. Trust me, you will not regret it. Join the movement and meet me in Colorado next year, bro.
Wow.
All right, so that was a long recap of why we were not here last week.
Well, I went to a barbecue.
Okay.
That doesn't really compare to that. Just took that Monday off, spent it with some family and friends, went to a barbecue. I can't really compare to your Labor Day weekend experience. I also kicked off a sale with my design company.
Yes, tell them where to reach you. Tell them where to meet you for the designs on Jack.
Well, you already know what you guys need. I got it.
Okay.
But I have a design company called Oh My Lord Studios. We do web design, print design, flyers, logos, branding, everything that you see us put out as a podcast. I am 99.9% of the time the one designing it. So you could definitely see a whole bunch of my work at www.ohmylordstudios.com. That's OHMILORD studios.com. And right now we're offering this great sale right now. You can get up to 70% off on websites, logos, flyers, and business cards. The sale ends today, which is a Monday. But if you're a listener from the podcast, you could just say, hey, I heard you talking about this on the podcast. You could shoot me an email at design@ohmylordstudios.com. And
that's an exclusive.
I'll hook you up. It's a Good Bad Glory exclusive. I'll still hook you up with that design discount. So yeah.
Holla.
Awesome. So how was your weekend, Nicole?
My weekend was great. What did I do this weekend? So Friday, we had a mutual friend that had sort of this end of summer barbecue that we went to. That was fun. It's always, great to hang out with friends. I love barbecues, and it's getting chilly out here in New York.
It is.
If you hear me, I sound a little nasal and congested. It's because this weather is a little bipolar. One day it's really hot. Next day it's really cold, and it kind of messed me up a little bit. But yeah, so we had an end of summer situation, which was fun on Friday. Then we had our friend who got married.
Yes.
So I'm saying we because Sam and I have the same circle of friends.
Pretty much, for the most part, yeah.
So a lot of the events that that I went to, Sam was also there.
Yes.
I'm sorry to steal your shine.
No, it's all good. You can have this event.
So we went to a wedding. Congratulations, Antia and Gary. Such a beautiful union this weekend.
Yes. 2 members of Destiny Music Group.
Yes. So shout out to 2 of the members of Destiny Music Group, Antia and Gary. Congratulations on your nuptials. We're so happy for you.
Yeah, beautiful wedding.
Yes. And Sunday I went to church and I got really sick and congested. It was terrible. So, I just came home. I took a nap, but I then watch the Insecure finale.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
It sounds like people are very upset about something that happened.
No, not even upset. It was just so good.
Really?
Like the last 2 episodes of the season were definitely my favorite.
Wow.
The writing in this show is just amazing. I'm just out here wondering what happened to Tiffany. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Where is Tiffany?
Man, if
Where's
I get
Tiffany?
some time, I may have to check out Insecure.
That's it.
I'm out of the loop.
We're just praying for 45 to 1 hour episodes next season. Issa, hear us.
Oh yeah, right. It's only 30.
30
Oh,
minutes.
maybe I could do that.
You
then.
can definitely get through that
Yeah,
2
do a little
seasons in a
binge
day.
watch.
Yeah, you can get
Yeah.
through 2 seasons in a day. But so yeah, that was my weekend. One more thing. Sorry.
Yes. No.
Today I went to Refinery 29's 29 Rooms, which was pretty cool.
That sounds fancy.
It was dope, honestly. Refinery 29 is a women's organization, and one event that they host every year is this thing called 29 Rooms. And it's pretty much an interactive art installation with 29 different rooms.
Gotcha.
Quote unquote, rooms in air quotes. It was amazing. It's like it felt like a big interactive play place for adults.
Oh, nice.
It was so dope. It was beautiful. It was just very stimulating. I loved all of the colors, and I liked that they engaged all of the senses. Like so many of the rooms engaged the smell. Smell. Yeah. It was my actual favorite installation was a floral installation.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Had these hanging flowers, and you stepped into these big roses, pink roses, and you can put your head into the rose. And there was a video playing in the rose, inside the rose, and it also had a smell inside the rose that would engage. Like it was just super engaging. Like I really loved it.
What was it a video of?
It was a very they called it an erotic video.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was just like, honestly, the video I watched was just someone eating something in a very sexual way.
Gotcha.
So it was a little strange, but it made for a good Instagram photo. So they had.
You really Instagrammed it?
Nah. I Instagrammed the installation, but not the video.
Gotcha.
Because you couldn't fit your phone in there. The only thing you can fit is your head in that big rose.
Gotcha.
And so that was awesome. So that was my weekend. A very long recap. How was yours? Tell me about what you did.
Well, once again, went to church.
Yes.
Compared to your weekend. Actually, Friday, I hung out with the members of my church band.
Yeah.
We went out, for a night out on the town.
Hey, church band.
It was guys. We hung out in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Went to Dino's BBQ.
Ooh, I love dinosaurs.
Yeah. Really good. And then from there, we headed to this place called the Royal Palms. And it's like a shuffleboard place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't play shuffleboard, but...
Really? Why not?
I don't know. I don't think we went there for that. Yeah. I don't think we was trying to put down that shuffleboard bread. You gotta put down and play shuffleboard.
I feel you.
But like a cool thing about the spot is that like they have like board games, card games and stuff. Yep. And we legit like rented out Uno and like played Uno
for hours.
For like 2 hours.
That's so dope. I love
playing Uno. Yeah, like the Uno deck they have like this card. It's like a wild card, right?
Yeah.
And when you put the wild card, you got to pick a color, and then the next person has to put the color of what you said.
Yep.
But this wild card, you pick a color, and everyone has to draw a card until they get that color.
Wow, that's 2017.
So
Uno.
we played Uno for 2 hours, and it was like 2 games.
Wow.
Because
it just never ended.
That card would just mess you up. You'd be nearly done, but you'd have to keep going again. So
that's funny.
I mean, that's pretty much my weekend. Like you said, I was at the wedding too. The band was killing at that wedding. Oh my gosh.
It was so good.
Insanity. And then there was church. My church just celebrated 7 years.
Yay.
Our 7-year anniversary.
Congratulations, Life Church.
Oh yes, thank you very much. So we had the choir come out and do something, and then had a little photo booth set up, and And the Brooklyn Borough president proclaimed that the date of our church's anniversary, September 12th, is Life Church Day.
Yeah.
Which is the name of my church.
That's awesome.
So we have like our own day now, which is cool. And that was pretty much the weekend.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let me just put y'all on. In the spirit of transparency, the world didn't give us many hot topics today.
No, definitely they did not.
But we out here, we're flowing in Jesus' name.
Yeah, we gave you the topics of our lives, and we're hot people, so
we out here.
Come
on, Holy Spirit, and flow.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today, Sam?
We are gonna get into some world events. As we know, we are recording today on September 11th, which is a day of remembering a tragic time in our country. Like, I feel like anyone you ask who was alive at the time can tell you pretty much exactly what they were doing when the plane struck the Twin Towers. When they came down, it was such a and we happened to be New Yorkers, actually. So I happened to be in the 6th grade at the time. I was in class, and our teacher called us into a homeroom, and it was, a little confusing at the time. Like, we didn't know what was going on. After all, they told us that the planes flew into the Twin Towers. And I remember having so much anger, honestly, at that time. Like, I was like, who are these people who would, come in and try to take down our towers? And by people, I don't mean a certain, like, race or,
right.
But the group of terrorists, I was just like, at that age, just like, I felt like we were just violated in a strong way as a country. Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember where you was at during that time?
Absolutely. So I think we're the same. Are we the same age? I think. Yeah. So we were both in the same grade. I remember 2001, I was 11 years old. I'm so young. I'm completely telling my age right now.
Wow. Yeah, we can figure it out now.
Yeah, I know. I remember I was in school and they didn't tell us what was happening.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't tell us what was happening, but you can just sense the tenseness in the air. Yeah. Like, and all of a sudden it was the middle of the day and all of our parents came to pick us up. Yeah. And I'm like, how is this happening? Because I know my mother's at work.
Right.
So how is it that she reached in the middle of Brooklyn to come get me and take us home? And then, of course, my mom told me what was going on. And even then, I didn't really fully understand what that meant. Right. So we go home, and I lived at the time in South Brooklyn. And the towers, of course, were in Manhattan, and I smelled the smoke.
Yes, you could. Me too. I also live in South Brooklyn, and you could smell that from Manhattan all the way to where we were.
All the way, and so that kind of scared me. I just remember standing on the porch, like, "Is this really happening?" And then, of course, you would watch the news, and you would just hear that this meant that we were at war and all of these things. And that scared me because at that young age, I didn't know what that meant. For sure, right? I didn't know if that this is really naive, but for someone that age, of course, like, did that mean they were going to be bombing the supermarket or the Rite Aid near my house? Right, like, I didn't know. Yeah. I was just afraid at that time. So I just remember the fear that I had, and seeing some of my aunts and uncles actually worked in that building, and just seeing them or hearing from them that they had to walk all the way home to Brooklyn, and just seeing people in Brooklyn covered in white. Yeah. All like ash and soot. It was just a very sobering experience. Even that I'll never forget those images. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just want to send our thoughts and prayers to those who may have lost family, lost loved ones. Yeah, we just want to send our love to those who were really impacted by this day in a strong way. Yeah. Another thing I do remember was that people were showing a lot of love to one another at that time.
Yeah, we
coming
really
together, going to church, putting up memorials, painting American flags in parks, painting fire hydrants, red, white, and blue, stuff like that. So it did increase a sense of patriotism and oneness throughout the country. Honestly, a place we kind of need to get back to.
I wish we had it now.
You know, in this time. But once again, our condolences to those who have lost loved ones, and pray that, you know, the Lord comforts you, and that you have, you know, peace and some sort of tranquility during this day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll be moving on to our good right now. And it seems that we have had back-to-back natural disasters, but seeing how we have all come together, celebrities, establishments, businesses, to try to give to the victims of, or the people of Houston and now Florida, Georgia, the South, that's being impacted right now by Hurricane Irma. We really want to give a shout out to all those who are giving to those people in need out there,
right?
That are left stranded without homes. The celebrities, the establishments that are not only giving themselves, but are also putting the pressure on other celebrities and establishments to give as well. Celebrities like Beyonce, who was just out there, you know, talking to the people down there in Houston, handing out food, right? Walmart, who raised a ton of money.
Even though I don't respect Walmart, we can shout them out. All right, I'm gonna just put that out there.
You know, that's the thing. At this at this time, you know, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. We want to see you out here, you know, giving and donating for this cause, because people are literally out there stranded without homes. Even outside of America, the island of Barbuda. Oh my God!
Was it Barbuda? I think it was 95% of the homes were gone.
I believe the Prime Minister said that. Yeah, destroyed. It's 95% uninhabitable.
Jesus. Lord,
oh my gosh! I literally saw pictures of it. There was like a huge truck, like toppled over. Like the winds are just so strong and powerful out there. It's, you know, it's destroying everything in its wake pretty much, and we really need to band together as a country and really help people out in need. I feel like I haven't seen anything as crazy as was it Katrina, where it seemed like the government was slow Orleans, and like helping. It doesn't seem like there's anything like that. It seemed like everything has been good.
Well, we'll see
with that. Yeah, we'll see the aftermath. Yeah,
because
for sure.
The thing with these natural disasters is that, like, in the immediate, everyone's running to the rescue. Months down the line, when everyone's forgotten about it and the attention is shifted, people still need help.
That is very true.
So let's not forget about them in those times.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. So shout out to the celebrities, the businesses, and even you at home where you are right now. If you're giving, shout out to you. Be a good citizen, a good humanitarian, and help out your brother and sister in need.
Word. So the not so good thing that's happening in the world today, all over the internet, and many of you might have seen an article about a Chicago teen named Kenneka Jenkins Martin, who was found dead in a hotel. So there's so many different sort of like allegations to the story. There's so many different details, but long story short, this young girl who is 19 years old was at a hotel party on Friday night with her friends, and at around 11:30 p.m., one of her friends went live on Facebook, and you could see a group of them in the hotel. And then at 4 a.m., Kenneka's friend called Kenneka's mother to let her know that she had suddenly disappeared. And that she left her phone and her keys behind. So that triggered a bunch of investigations and police reports. And then by about midnight on that Sunday, the police found Kenneka Jenkins dead in the hotel freezer of the hotel.
Yeah. No, that's it sounds tragic.
Jesus.
It is tragic.
It is tragic, yeah.
Just hearing that alone, and what seems to be bugging everyone out is the seems to be unanswered questions about the cause of her death. How could something like this happen?
Yeah.
In a hotel where presumably there's staff there.
Yep.
I believe it was also reported that they were giving the parents a hard time when they were trying to initially search the hotel, and they were telling them that surveillance doesn't show anything or anything like that.
Really?
And then police had to get involved and things like that. And I think one of the arguments they had was that if they had maybe checked, there wasn't so much initial trouble for the family to, search the hotel and things like that. Maybe they would have found her earlier. And maybe something different could have happened. So as of right now, the police are not also disclosing if there were any signs of trauma to her body. But a lot of people on the internet are saying that she was set up by her friends, and she was potentially sexually assaulted, and stored in the freezer. To kind of hide her.
Yeah, I mean, and there are a bunch of different pieces of evidence that are floating around on the internet. For example, a few hours before the calls were made, one of the friends who were there in the hotel went live on Facebook, and of course, you can watch that whole video on Facebook or on the internet. I mean, and yeah, it's just
I saw that video.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people saying you could hear someone saying "help me" in the background, and stuff
they're
like
reaching
that.
with that.
It is hard to tell in that video. I wasn't able to get anything clear, honestly.
Yeah, no, me neither.
From that video. But if people are having a party, the girl is clearly smoking weed in the video. Right. People are getting drunk. There's gonna be confusion, of course. You're not gonna get a straight story.
People are gonna try to piece things together and say,
So the only thing we really can do is wait to see after they perform the autopsy what the report has to say about the cause of death,
right?
And things like that. The police initially said it looked like she kind of just locked herself in there.
Yes, I think one of the mothers of one of the friends said that she was drunk and she just went into the freezer and locked herself. To me, that doesn't sound like it makes sense,
right?
But I mean, listen, we're just praying for the best. That could whatever the best could look like in this situation, because she is now not alive.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to that young queen.
Yes.
We're just praying for her family and friends, and we hope that the truth actually comes forth and somebody gets to pay for it.
And that what the main thing I took from this is that I need some friends who are not gonna just let me wander off by myself. I saw a person who tweeted. When it comes to best friends, this is why girls always go everywhere with each other. If my friend needs some air, I need some air too.
Hello, if I need to go to the bathroom, we are all going to the bathroom, amen.
Right. No. She didn't. I mean that woman logic right there. I can't disagree. But that was one of my main takeaways from this. Is just make sure you got good friends who sees what kind of state you're in and not let you wander off.
But that's the thing. That's if that's what actually happened.
If that's what happened.
If that's what actually happened.
Get friends that won't set you up and
who just don't kill you. I mean, that could also, I don't know. So we're just hoping, we're praying, and I'm curious to see what comes of this. Me too.
I'll be following this story, and I'm sure social media will be as well.
Right. Okay. So what we're thinking about this week, what's on our mind, our glorious thought, right?
Yes.
So what we want to talk about this week is church facades. What we mean by church facades is the pressure or the feeling of needing to have it all together all the time.
Yes.
Because or for church people.
Right.
Why is that?
That's a loaded question.
That's right no, it absolutely is.
I mean, everybody always feels like they have a certain image to uphold, right?
Yeah.
So we even live in a social media generation where we put up the best pictures on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yep.
And if you're in a church setting and you feel like you want to be, seen in a certain light, you do everything to kind of attain that image you're looking to. It could be a lot of different reasons. Maybe you want to be seen as a person who everyone could come to and seek advice from.
Yep.
And or you want to be maybe you feel like you have to fit in
Yep.
with everyone else at church,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you feel like, oh, this is the way to, you know, I gotta be super holy. I can't talk about anything I may be struggling with or things like that.
So, yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think it manifests itself in so many different ways, right? Yeah. And so looking like you have it all together or acting like you have it all together. The thing about that is that it's contagious. And what I mean by that is that the level of transparency or the lack of transparency will probably exist among the entire group of people if no one is transparent.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if you go to a church, and this is not even just a church thing. If you have a group of coworkers or a group of friends who nobody's talking about the reality of issues, or everyone's always like dressed to the nines, and no shade against people who like to dress, because that's amazing if that's who you are. Yeah. But like never feeling like you can let your guard down. Nobody's guard is going to be down.
Absolutely.
And the flip side of that is that once someone does take that step to let their guard down, it frees everyone else to let their guard down. I mean that in a number of ways. So for example, since we're Christians, right? Yeah. In a church setting or with Christians or with Christian friends, and I've been in so many like different like small groups or like youth groups or group conversations, those types of things where we would be talking about a topic that would call for a level of transparency. And everyone's like, no, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm good over here. I've never experienced anything like that at all. Right. The minute someone says, you know what, actually, one time I did do drugs. And this is what happened to me. And this is sort of what it did to me. Or one time I did, do something that sort of is deemed like, one time I did do that thing. And they make themselves vulnerable. And it sort of frees everyone else to do the same. Yeah. So I think that the thing about church facades is that they contradict exactly what we go to church for, or why we come to God.
Absolutely. And you know what? Before we even go there, I'm gonna take it to another level too.
Take it to another level.
I believe we also, we see it in our gospel celebrities. We see it in our pastors and stuff like that. They maintain this image of like high holiness and superb, pristine, perfect life. Yes. And then when all of a sudden they get caught up in a scandal, and you're just like, wait a second,
hold on,
what happened? Wait, I thought it was one way. Piece. How you just jump from here to over there? Right. And it never works like that. You don't just end up in like this huge big sin. It's things going on behind the scenes that one could say maybe even due to the hiding of it. And the need to feel like you have to uphold this, pristine, perfect image was that very small issue that needed to be worked on just evolved and grew into this super huge issue. And now it's like, boom, right out there on Front Street, for everybody to know.
And you know what the thing is? Like, when we talk about like fronting, I'm going to say just fronting for the gram or fronting for church or just, putting up this everything's okay shield. I believe that even the most confident of people have a deep desire to just be accepted for who they are, right? Absolutely. For who they are. Everyone wants to be loved and accepted for who they truly, truly are on the inside, ugly parts and all. However, we do not allow that because we front. So we don't give people the opportunity to truly know us and love us for who we truly are. Because we act like everything is perfect. And this is the person that I want you to love, this perfect person that I'm projecting. And I'm not giving you the opportunity to really get to know me, to really get to know the ugly parts of me that can foster a genuine love and relationship and communion and fellowship. But I'm going to put this front up. I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to always have my house sparkling clean when you come over. I'm going to always cook the best food. My clothes are always going to be ironed. You're never going to know anything about what's going bad in my life or anything like that. Because I want to be perfect. Although I deeply want to be loved for who I truly am, flaws and all, I won't show you that part. Right. It's just this weird thing, you know?
Yeah. And if you find yourself, in that kind of group of friends, maybe you need to either reevaluate that circle, or maybe you have to be the one to kind of spark and incite that change.
Right.
Because taking that first step, to being open and saying, hey, this is what, I may be struggling with, or like, what, sometimes I don't always believe, that God is going to come through for me.
Right.
Or, I do have, a lust addiction. I, watch pornography the other day. Sometimes it could be hard to say things like that if you feel like no one else is going through that thing, and you feel like they're going to look at you in a certain way.
Right.
If they find out. When the church should be the place where you can, freely express those things,
right,
to your brothers and your sisters,
right. And I understand. I know we often like say the church should do this and the church should do that. We're really talking about our brothers and sisters,
absolutely,
which are our friends. These are our
church,
friends, our family, our brothers and sisters, and in essence, we're talking about ourselves as well. And I think what you said is key in that, like, we have to be safe places for people to be themselves.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, that's the only way, because the worst feeling is bearing it all and someone be like, dang, that's crazy, and keep it moving. Like, they don't go there with you.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Right.
That hurts. And trust me, I've been there, and you'll never go there again with that person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It does start with like an internal kind of viewing of yourself. Like, do I have that heart for someone else if someone was to tell me something they're going through?
Right.
Like you said, am I going to be like, oh, man, sad to hear that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, yo, what you doing this weekend? Like, do we live in a society where when we ask people how they feel, how you doing, do we really want to hear the real answer?
Right. No, all you hear is I'm blessed and highly favored, which we are.
Yes.
Which we are.
That's true.
But sometimes you want to get to the meat of it, right? Yeah. Like, sometimes I don't feel great.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't. And here's one thing that I feel, and I feel like this is something that I've learned and I've been practicing since I went on my trip. I think that the beginning of taking the facade down, taking the mask off, really, it starts with self-love and self-acceptance. I think that it starts with really, truly understanding God's love for me.
Yeah.
And understanding that I am perfect.
Right.
With my flaws. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, there's some affirmations that we made when we were in Colorado. And one of the affirmations that I made is that even if I never changed another thing about myself, even if I never finished my degree, if I never got a new job, if I never got this big house or anything that I desire in life, I'm still going to be amazing. I still am amazing right here, right now, as I am, if nothing else ever changed about me.
Right.
Right. So once I truly, truly believe that, I'm free, bro.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing that anybody could tell me. And that's really the wave that I'm on right now, especially after that retreat. It's like, once you fully and truly accept yourself, it's this radical feeling of freedom. Yeah. And it frees others around you too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Once you really understand, like, basically what you were saying, like, and you understand that when you have that foundation, when you know that God intricately created you, that He knew you while you were being formed in your mother's womb, that He thought you into existence.
Right.
Like, once you have that and you know that you are perfectly loved by God, you'll apply that revelation and you'll apply that knowledge to any void in your heart that feels like I need to maintain this image to be accepted by other people.
Right.
You'll get that bravery to say, you know what? Even if I'm rejected by other people, I know I'm accepted by God.
Yep.
And
accepted by myself.
Yeah. And no longer is a seeking of acceptance the basis of your actions, but you're ready to receive and accept other people. And that's your main focus. Instead of pointing it to yourself, you're thinking about other people.
Preach. That's so true. That's so true. And the thing about self-love is this. When you and I was talking to my sister about this last week when I came back from my trip. When you radically love yourself deeply, even the ugly parts, you realize how amazing you are. Yeah. It gives you the freedom to just love everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
You love everyone else, and it sort of ignites this wave. You know how I said like that the facade is contagious, but that freedom and that transparency is also contagious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I believe that like self-love tears down facades. It tears down your own facade. Like when you love yourself, you're free to be who you are. You're free to bear your flaws. You're free to be honest and transparent. And that is contagious in circles.
For sure. Especially because, it's not like you're making up things about yourself. It's like you said before, you're seeing quote unquote any flaws with yourself, but it's like, I'm still acceptable. I am still amazing.
I'm still amazing
as I am,
even with my flaws.
Once we get that, once we align ourselves with the right perception of the way we should be looking at ourselves, with the vision that God has when He sees us, we could look at other people the same way. I think that's all it really is fixing your vision, aligning it to what God sees, and you're able to see yourself as what God made you to be and your fellow brothers and sisters on this earth. Yeah. And you'll just want them to obtain that same vision for themselves.
Yes, that's so true. Because when you connect with yourself in that way, you then look at other people, and instead of seeing differences, you see similarities. Yeah. You see how much of the same we all really are. You see how connected we all really are. And it just sort of, it opens a whole new door.
Absolutely. What's coming to mind as you're speaking right now is our conversation about comparison. Yeah. There's the opposite. Now you're seeing similarities. Exactly. You're not seeing differences and you're not threatened by those differences like, oh, they got one up on me or I got one up on them. It's like, nah, we're similar. Like, we're both, we're both destined for greatness.
We're both loved by God. We're both called. We both are, all of these amazing things that you can, when you notice about yourself, you realize that same thing exists in everyone, whether they realize it or not. Like it's your duty to sort of first check yourself and check in with yourself to make sure that you don't have the facade up. Right.
That's really all I believe you could leave from this glorious start, right? Because it's not like you're supposed to go to other people like, look, you need to stop being fake.
All right? You're mad
come
fake.
on. Transparency. Come on. Bring it out right now. Like, you can't do that. You got to, live that kind of a lifestyle with yourself. Both in, spiritually and even regular, day lifestyles among coworkers. I believe they'll even see that transparency.
Yeah, it's truly admirable. And I just want to encourage us all to be safe places for people. Yeah. And allow them to bear their souls. And sometimes I'm going to be honest and say that sometimes a struggle for me used to be having the words to say when someone comes to me with something that's like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But one thing that I've been doing is like, sometimes I don't have the words. I literally ask the Spirit and the Holy Spirit in that moment, like, God, speak through me, please. Yeah. Even while they're speaking. Yeah. I just feel like, God, I know that I need to have a word of encouragement right now. Right. Can you please just speak through me? And He will just flow. Absolutely. God will flow. So really rely on the Holy Spirit in that regard.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because fear could cripple you so much into keeping you from doing so many things. Right. That God calls you to do. A scripture that came to mind while we were talking about this was actually in James 5:16. Mm-hmm. It says, "Therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other that you may be healed." And even the Bible encourages us to, just talk about our struggles and let people into the dark places we may be going through. Give everything a light, because light is the only thing that could take darkness out of your life. And there's healing that comes with that. Yeah. So be a vehicle that healing could come through. Make yourself readily available to take someone in, and also confess yourself. Get that healing for yourself as well. Confess it to a trusted brother, a trusted sister. Yep. And like I said, take that step out there. We can't guarantee that maybe the circle of friends you're with would readily accept you, but at least there's some light shed on the situation where okay, I do need to go out and seek a better group of brothers and sisters that will pray for me, that will see me past my sin or whatever it is that I'm doing, and would pray for me and hold me up.
Yeah, so that is our glorious thought. And I love this. I love this thought because it's sort of the space that I'm in right now, just in my personal life. So if you are feeling this, if this is the space that you are in, or even if you have a comment or you have a thought that you want to share with us, shout us out at goodbadglory@gmail.com. Again, that's goodbadglory@gmail.com.
Yes.
Once again, also, we are encouraging our listeners to nominate a winner of the week so that we can shout out our people who are doing great things. Again, that's goodbadglory@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at goodbadglory, and on Facebook at the good, the bad, and the glory. Sam, where can they find you?
You can find me at Oh My Lord, OHMILORD, on Instagram and Twitter. I'm also on Snapchat, Proverbs Boy, PROVERBSBOY. Follow me, add me. I love to make new friends.
Yes, and you can find me at NICKITY_ on Instagram and Twitter. Again, that's NICKITY on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes, and remember, whatever we talk about, whether it's good or bad, it's all for the glory. See you guys next week.
Bye.